Good day for America, a good day for Ukraine, and a good day for world peace. This is what US President Joe Biden said in the White House after signing a foreign aid bill worth $95 billion. This bill would benefit Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. The bill also introduces a potential ban on TikTok. This is significant because this foreign aid bill was dragging on for months and was finally passed on Tuesday. Let's see how this $95 billion is to be allocated. $61 billion will be given in military aid for Ukraine, $26 billion for Israel and other humanitarian aid for civilians in conflict zones around the world, $8.12 billion to, quote-unquote, counter communist China in the Indo-Pacific. This is one of the most significant bills to be passed in the US in months. There were weeks of intense infighting in the Republican Party about sending more money to Ukraine as its war with Russia entered its third year and Ukraine relies on US aid to counter Russian attacks. The United States has been supporting Ukraine in its war with Russia, but big funding for Ukraine had not been approved by Congress for a long time. The discussion about helping Ukraine shows big differences between Democrats and Republicans in the US Congress. It also shows division among conservative groups as the next election approaches. Some Republicans are cautious about giving money to other countries, but Biden and the Democrats say helping Ukraine keeps America safe from Russia. In February, the Senate tried to pass a similar aid package, but some conservatives in the House stopped it. Last week, Democrats and Republicans in the House worked together to fix this. Even though some Republicans in the House voted against it, the aid package got through. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has thanked the US for the passing of this bill and said that it, quote-unquote, reinforces America's role as a beacon of democracy and leader of the free world. This aid package will greatly help Ukraine's military, which is facing an ammunition shortage lately. The Pentagon says the aid can reach Ukraine in just a matter of days. This aid might be the final one for Ukraine until after the US presidential elections in November. An interesting thing to note here is that former president and present presidential candidate Donald Trump has an America First policy, and he has been resisting such aids. The bill shows strong support for Israel amid criticism for its actions in Gaza and the humanitarian crisis. It shows the US will keep supporting Israel's military despite worries about Gaza violence. Some Democrats and a few Republicans voted against it. They want a ceasefire and think sending more money for weapons can worsen the crisis in Gaza. The House approved the measure with a large majority. The bill also claims to weaken China's influence by providing military support to Asian allies like Taiwan and by banning TikTok in the US if its Chinese owner ByteDance does not sell it. This bill had strong support from both Democrats and Republicans, with only about 36 Republicans opposing it. The fourth bill was approved by 360 votes to 58 in the House. Around 30 progressives and 20 far-right Republicans were against it. The Repo Act and TikTok measures were added to address concerns raised by Republicans who were hesitant to support aid to Ukraine due to past security concerns about the app. These four bills were approved as one package in the Senate, advancing 79 to 18, with 2 Democrats, 1 independent, and 15 Republicans voting against it. Now let's see what is in this package for each country. Of the $61 billion designated for Ukraine, $14 billion will be used for weapons, $13 billion will be used for replacing US military supplies, and $9 billion will go in as loans that do not need to be repaid and for rebuilding infrastructure. The next is the Israel aid, which will actually be divided among Israel, Gaza, and other conflicted zones in the world. Of the $26 billion, $13 billion will be used for Israel's military and $9 billion for humanitarian aid for Gaza and other places around the world. Third aid is focused on helping the US allies in the Indo-Pacific region, including Taiwan, to boost their military capabilities. Around $6 billion is allocated to deterrence, which involves improving submarine infrastructure in the area. Now let's come to the TikTok part of the package, which is a part of the fourth bill. The fourth bill allows the US to give seized Russian assets to Ukraine for rebuilding. It also adds stricter punishments for Russia, Iran and China. This bill also includes a ban on TikTok. It says that TikTok's China-based parent company ByteDance must sell the app in 9 months or it cannot operate in the US anymore. TikTok has 170 million US users and the country is concerned that China might access its citizens' data. ByteDance, on the other hand, insists it has not shared user data with the Chinese government. Okay, so why is this foreign aid bill important? Let me summarize. The issues addressed in this package may not have a resolution anytime soon. Ukraine will require continuous US support against Russian attacks, and Republican disagreements on the topic of helping Ukraine may also continue. Israel might request more funding as its conflict persists, and tensions in the US's stance towards Israel and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza may also persist, and this fact is quite evident from pro-Palestine protests and mass arrests across US universities intensify. When it comes to the TikTok ban, the company intends to challenge the policy in court on the grounds that it threatens people's free speech. So the significance of this foreign aid bill extends beyond its immediate impact, and we'll have to wait and watch how this pans out. Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.